let me just start off with this. There's definitely something to be said about convenience when it comes to playing guitar, especially in today's modern age of being a musician. Now, I will say there's also something to be said for boutique, high-end, expensive gear, custom shop guitars, vintage guitars, things like that. But the convenient, easy to use, no setup required kind of thing, there's equally a time and place for that as well. And that's what we're mainly gonna focus and talk about today, specifically the Inspire from Enya Music. I'll be completely honest with you, I was never into this kind of thing. Granted, it's somewhat new in the gear world. It comes off gimmicky, it's hard for it to not, and to some, that's what it will be, and that's fine. But sort of like I said in the intro of this video, there really is a time and place for it. It makes sense. It can be really helpful for a lot of musicians. And before I really get into it, if you like any sort of gear demos or anything about the music guitar related world I talk about, I do videos on. I also do guitar lessons as well. So if you're into any of that, please consider subscribing below. Also real quick, I am opening up some guitar lesson spots. So if you're interested in that as well, it's in the description. Shoot me an email. Now I've done a demo from Enya Music to a guitar very similar to this. You can find that up here in the description. It was very fun to play. It was very futuristic and completely different from what you get from a standard electric guitar like the ones behind me. For example, this one and the other one has a built-in speaker in it. No setup required. You simply just turn it on, you can change to a bunch of different effects and the volume, and it all comes from the speaker. Now, what if you don't want to use a speaker? Well, you could just use it as a standard electric guitar as well. But the main thing about this thing is the built-in speaker. So this is what I would call a great lay around guitar. You don't have to worry about leaving it out in the elements or getting scratched up and destroyed. It's not crazily expensive. For example, and this is kind of ironic because that is a custom shop 335. I never have this thing out, quite literally ever. It's always in its case. I don't even play it as much as I would like to because having to go in the case and getting it, pull it out, plug it in, like, it's stupid, but it just takes that extra momentum. But if it was just out all the time, I'd play it all the time. But it's very expensive, so I don't want to do that. Now, the irony of me saying that is that I just put it out in the background to have it in my video because it looks good. It's like ambiance. Now I'll get into all of that and the comparisons of both the guitars and why this can be sort of a throw around, lay around guitar. But first I have to give you a quick little listen about it. I will demo the speaker. I'll put like a microphone in front of it and then I'll also record directly into an amp. I'll play it that way. So here's some sounds and then we'll talk more about it. So you get up to 4 presets that you can sort of shift through on the guitar itself. Now those presets can be changed and you can add a bunch of different other effects and things like that via the app. The app is super easy to use. Each sort of effect or sound will have its own color, so you'll be able to look at it and see, you know, which effect or sound you're using. So you can have a clean, crunch, overdrive, and lead sounds with effects like EQ, delay, reverb, and modulation. Now the tones are similar to small tweed amps as well as British style amps for those like drivey tones. Now, like I said, you don't just have to use the built-in speaker. It's just like an additional awesome feature. You can also plug this directly into a PA, use those built-in effects, or like I said, you can plug it into an amp, not use any of the built-in effects at all, and just use it as a standard electric guitar. So you can gig with it, have it with you wherever you go, play it in tons of different settings. It's a very versatile and modern slash, I guess, futuristic instrument. Let's now get into the overall construction of this thing. We've got a carbon fiber material that is very durable and can handle different weather conditions much better than a standard guitar made out of wood, obviously. The neck's super smooth. Like I said, it's asymmetrical, which that means is that it's sort of round. It's rounder when you're playing like the chords, lower on the neck or higher on the neck, however you want to say it. And as you get higher on the neck, it thins out a little bit, so it's easier to do leads. Overall, truthfully, it is a great playing experience for both chords and playing solos and things like that. Now we obviously got that output jack for the amps. We also have a USB-C, and then we also have where we can plug in our headphones if we want to even have even quieter sounds if you really need to be quiet in your apartment, although the speaker does get pretty quiet when you bring that down all the way. But at that point, you actually might be better off having headphones in. Now the USB-C port, this is for charging, but also apparently for something called on-the-go recording. Basically that means you can capture everything you played during any gig, including the backing tracks you may have been running through it and the effects. That is just a crazy feature, and that's all probably through the app. Now for the pickups, we have an SSH configuration. Basically, it's just a super strat. You have a wide range of different types of tones. You can get that punchy, warm, but also powerful and mid-range tones. It's really great for all genres, and I kind of love that they do that. Personally, I wish I had an SSH configuration on my Strat. So let's just get into my final thoughts. If I'm gonna compare this to standard electric guitar, especially like a custom shop thing, they're very different in tons of different ways. They're also similar in a few different ways, but this feels genuinely great, especially for the price. This thing, for what it is, and especially compared to their first model, I think it was the Sonic Go, this thing's like a 10 out of 10 compared to that. Strictly talking about the convenient and futuristic features. And with all the things that this thing can do and its price point, you really can't go wrong. Like you can have both this and your other electric guitars. Like there really is a good balance for both. It's also a little bit different and kind of exciting to play, like hearing it come through the speaker, messing with all the different effects, being able to just leave this on my couch behind me, and when I sit down watching TV, I sort of just fiddle with it whenever I want to. There really is something to be said for that, because when you don't have guitars out, you're less likely to practice. But for me personally, I can use this as a throw around, lay around guitar. I can use it for a couple of those gigs like I talked about earlier, and just use it for its overall convenience. So I have tons of guitars. Like I said, you can see some behind me. I have tons in my closet, but this is the one that I can keep out for all those reasons I mentioned earlier. It's very simple. It's straight to the point. It's not hard to understand, and some of you are gonna have a really hard time putting it down. Now you have to take it for what it is. If you're a true electric guitar lover, you just love those vintage instruments, you love how they are built, and you're not into this stuff and you think it's gimmicky, that's fine. You're probably gonna not like it. But if you open up a little bit, you sort of give it a shot and take it for what it is, I think you'll end up liking it a little bit more than you expect. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video at any point, please consider subscribing. Also, let me know if there's any other types of gear you would like to see me demo on my channel. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.